everyone, and welcome back to the Real Positive Girl podcast. My name is Sabrina. Happy Tuesday. I hope that your day has been awesome. And if you're just starting your day, well, I hope that you're getting it off to a great start and that you just feel motivated to, keep that high energy for the whole day. You just feel ready to just get stuff done, you just feel so good about the day. You know how you wake up and you feel really good about a day, and despite what may happen during the day, even if you come across challenges or problems or issues and you have to ask for help and figure things out, you can still be thriving in that energy of just feeling like it's going to be a good day. You're going to learn things, you're going to move through challenges, you're going to get stuff done. It's just so good. So I hope it's off to a great start. And if you're in the middle or towards the end of your day, I hope the same. I hope it was fantastic, amazing. You're able to push through any sort of setbacks or problems that you encountered. And always remember that you have the option for the 5-minute reset. If you encounter some time where you just feel super overwhelmed or having a bad day, take 5 minutes at least. If you have more to spare, then please use more to just find some time to be by yourself, regain your peace, come back to baseline and just feel like you can start your day over from that moment. Spend some time thinking about small, big, middle things that you are grateful for. Continue to humble yourself and realize that you can get through the rest of the day, at least at a neutral mindset. Maybe you can walk away from that reset feeling positive, feeling like, okay, you can continue to take on the day. But if you at least walk away from that time feeling neutral, feeling like you don't need to throw the whole day away, then you have won. You have won, my friend. So I hope that it's a great day. Just a reminder that this week we are talking about habits for happiness, and today, Tuesday, we are talking about not everyone will like you, and that's okay. And I recently did a YouTube video on this as well, because I find that it's something that I struggle with on the regular, but that I am getting better at just letting that kind of mindset go. And I feel like it's something that a lot of other people struggle with too. And it is definitely related to, creating and cultivating happiness in your life. So I thought that we would talk about it today. So let's go ahead and just jump right in. One of the most important things for all of us to learn and accept is that not everyone will like us. True happiness will come from being confident in who you are despite what others think of you. And, it's so hard. It's so hard to accept that because you are there and you're thinking, I'm a nice person. I'm so courteous and kind and giving. And, you might be like the picture of the most perfect, upstanding person that could almost ever existed, minus Jesus, because he's perfect. And you're like, I am so great. How could this person not like me? But then they just don't, And sometimes it doesn't matter who you are, how nice you are, or what you do for someone, they still won't like you. But please know that this is their problem, not yours at all. If someone chooses to not like you, don't feel like you need to do anything about it. Unless you have wronged them in some way, which then you should right that wrong, and that's totally different. Like if you know you did something wrong and that's the reason that they don't like you, then you should try to right that. And then if they do decide still not to like you despite, any sort of apologies or anything you've done to make it up to them, then just let them be. Just let them be in their feelings. That is their choice. That is their choice to make. But yeah, please know that is their problem. If you haven't done anything wrong to them and they have just decided to make their own personal decision that they don't like you, just that is on them, not you, And I know that it can become so easy to obsess over, and I do mean obsess, over the fact that certain people don't like us, and especially when we think that why wouldn't they like us? So many other people like us. But it's definitely, you need to watch that kind of train of thought that's happening in your mind. Do better than me. Don't sit there and obsess and create lists of all the reasons why they should like you and how you're a great person and how you're better than this, that, and the other. And don't do it. It's a waste of your time. Don't do it. Just know that you are not for everyone and everyone is not for you. I'm sure there are people that you don't like, and that's totally fine. It's not a crime to not like someone. It's just normal. And, I don't think it's a negative thing that some people don't like us and we don't like some people. There are all different types of people, and not everyone is going to mesh like best friends, Every time that people talk about how they're upset or disappointed or sad that someone doesn't like them, it's always important to remember anyone that you don't like. And you might sit there and say, oh no, I like everyone. And that's not true. You know it's not true. You need to look into yourself and actually, call yourself out, be truthful, and realize that there are people in your life that you just don't like, you don't prefer their company, you'd rather not spend time with them. And that's okay, I know that people want to have like the most peaceful world in the most peaceful world ever, and everyone loves each other. But honestly, you can love people without actually liking them. You can respect people without actually liking them. You can still show kindness and everything without liking them. I feel like liking people includes like being nice and spending time with them, and doing, it's going more than just like saying hi and being courteous. And I don't think we're all meant to like each other because we're all different. We're all made differently. We're all going through different seasons of life, Not everything is going to line up to be the same so that we're all on the same page. And, even people that are in our same season of life, we might not like because, their circumstances might be a little bit different than ours. So it's not a crime to not like everyone. It's just normal. And it's not a negative thing. And if this is still tough for you to accept, this should be an indicator that you need to work on detaching from people-pleasing skills, which is my issue too. Don't worry. It's okay. It's okay if you're struggling with that because we all do. Maybe we all don't, but a lot of us do. A lot of us do. And it's really hard to admit that to yourself sometimes, but I encourage you to do it. I encourage you to be forthright with yourself and say, okay, I am struggling with this. I'm obsessing over it. Tell yourself that means that you're a people pleaser. You're struggling with some of those faults, some of those issues, and that's fine. That's fine. It's okay. It's not a big deal. But it's just something that you will need to work on so that you will feel stronger. You'll feel more confident in yourself. You'll love yourself more, and you'll care less that people don't like you. So that's totally fine. And if you're interested, I have plenty of other episodes of the podcast that talk about people pleasing because it's such a big deal, and it's something that I struggle with too. So don't feel like you're alone at all whatsoever. And don't try to convince someone that to like you either. I know you're probably like, oh no, I can just like do everything I can. This is a waste of your time and could also turn into a situation where someone knows you are trying so hard and will use that against you and take advantage of the situation. Some people are just shady, man. They are so shady, and they will try to manipulate you and be like, well, I don't really like them, but I'm going to pretend to like them so that they will give me everything I want, go out of their way and just like take you for everything that they can. Be careful out there, It's not, popularity is not the end all be all. Like, what are you really getting with that? You're like, oh, well, I want to be in with the in crowd. I want to be recognized as someone important. Like, okay, but what is that actually gaining you? Are you actually going to become famous from that? Okay, then what happens if, they decide not to be friends with you anymore and that people only associated you as being famous because you are friends with them, right? And if you're just using people as a stepping stone in your life and not truly cultivating relationships and things like that, then that's wrong too. So don't just use people for the sake of becoming popular and getting money and fame and fortune. Like, that's wrong as well. So you're manipulating them in a way. So I just ask yourself, like, do I really need to be liked by everyone? Is that really gonna be the thing that makes me feel full inside? And you're not really gaining anything from it. You might be gaining friends, you think, but not really. If they're faking and you're faking, and you're just trying to keep the peace. If you're just trying to be Switzerland, that's just not how real life is. There will be struggle. There will be a little bit of confrontation. You will have to, have fights and, talk to people with some anger inside, and as long as you're responsible with your emotions, that's fine. Everyone will grow and learn from those experiences. So don't waste your time trying to convince people to like you. It's not worth it. The best thing to do is to not take what other people say or think about you personally. Now, this is a lot harder than it is. It's a lot harder in practice than it is in words. Like, you can just say that and be like, yeah, don't take it personally. And people can even say that to you. Like, they'll give you some sort of like criticism, but they'll be like, oh, but don't take it personally. Like, you're like, but you just said something kind of rude about me, or that was tough for me to accept. I want to take it personally, but I would just encourage you to not take it personally. Sometimes people will say things that are necessary for you to accept, to learn from, true, actual, real criticisms, constructive criticisms that will actually help you. But other times, people will just say things to be mean, to be shady, to be manipulative, And just because someone doesn't like you doesn't mean that you're not likable. Remember that too. You're likable, and you probably have lots of friends and family that love you, that enjoy your company, that like you, that like spending time with you and think you're funny and awesome and like their best friend ever. So in the midst of being super concerned about someone else, just remember that. And try not to take it personally, because you might feel like it's an attack on you, but really it's just them projecting what they're going through onto you, which is unfair, unnecessary, and not something that you're required to accept. And why would you want to leave your sense of worth in someone else's hands? That's what you're doing when you depend on what others think of you, or whether them liking you or not dictates how you feel about yourself. Like don't let your worth be up to someone else, and that's based on whether they like you or not. Your worth shouldn't be dependent on that, because liking someone doesn't mean that they necessarily respect you, doesn't mean they necessarily think highly of you. Like I can like the mailman, but it doesn't mean that I think that he's the best person in the world. I might not respect him if I find out that he does weird things. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, liking someone is not the same as respecting them, is not the same as, caring about someone, truly caring about them. So it's all different. And it's really important to think about how you are essentially putting your worth in someone else's hands when you let them make the decision on how you feel about yourself and whether they like you or not. This is unhealthy, and you're not practicing self-confidence and knowing your own worth. Own who you are despite everyone else. It's such a good message. Own who you are despite everyone else, Even if people are telling you you're the best thing ever, just own who you are, And if they're like, over fluffing it and being like, yeah, you're the best at this ever, and you know that you're not, and that's not you thinking negative things. That's you being like real with yourself. You're like, no, I'm not quite the best, but I'm working on being one of the best. Like, just own who you know you are inside, despite everyone else. This is, please remember, I was going to say something else, sorry. But please remember that even if someone doesn't like you and decides to show it openly, this is still not a reason to treat anyone badly or mirror their behavior back. It's not eye for an eye kind of thing. Do not exhibit their behavior back to them, because you're just stooping as low as them. And that's also not the right thing to do. Always treat others with kindness and respect, despite how they treat you. Now, I know I already mentioned that liking someone is different from respecting them, but you can give someone like a base level of respect without liking them, just by like being courteous, being kind, doing your due diligence to just like not be openly rude or sassy to them or any of that kind of stuff. You always, being the bigger person is super hard. Like, really, like, I have had a lot of experience of being the bigger person in my life. Sorry, I got really excited there. Really excited. But sorry for your ears. Being the bigger person is so hard, but it's necessary, and will encourage others over time to be better as well. It's kind of like you're a role model. Like, people will be like, oh my gosh, they were the bigger person. They didn't stoop to their level despite what that person said to them, about them, around them. That person was super rude, even though they were continually being nice. They were like gritting their teeth and bearing it and getting through it. Wow, I can't believe it. Or maybe that person that doesn't like you will end up just respecting you as well and being like, wow, she just took that, and I know I was in the wrong, and I really need to stop, because wow, like, she didn't just counter back with the same thing or something even worse. Like, just know that your actions and how you treat people is noticed, even if you think it's not. It really is. Lastly, make sure you recognize the people that actually love you, really enjoy your company and who you are. those people are the ones that really matter and that you should have your focus on. I know I mentioned this before. Like, remember the people that are already in your life that care about you, that love you, that want to spend time with you. Like, why are you wasting all your hard-earned, your hard focus and love and care and devotion on these people that don't care? Reciprocate it back to the people in your life that do care, that do want to spend time with you. Stop pining away for friendships that will never happen and that deep down won't happen because you've done your best to try and they still haven't reciprocated it back. And honestly, sometimes, going back to the manipulation thing, some people might just like to play that game. They like to play the game of not liking someone, treating them poorly, and still hoping that that person will continually to like them, try really hard, go out of their way to be nice, to show them that they are worthy of being liked. Step back, stop doing that. Maybe they'll learn their lesson. Maybe they'll change. Maybe they'll realize that that's not a game to be playing with people's emotions. It's just not fair. Being content in who you are and those that like you and enjoy your company are the things that will contribute to your happiness. Just own who you are, accept that some people won't like you. It's not the end of the world. It's not going to prevent you from achieving your goals. You might think, oh no, I need to have this person like me and accept me so that I can, they can help me get this, that, and the other. I'm sure there's another way. Maybe it's a harder way. Maybe it's a way that takes longer. Maybe it's a way that requires you to, save more money or spend more time or work harder. But it's the better way. Don't try to take shortcuts by using people for connections. If it's just not going to work out, or it's just taking the lazy way around. Like, I understand in life, having connections for certain things, in business especially, is super helpful. But if the connection is just not there, then just, show your respect and kindness and move on and try a different way. There's always going to be another way. So just be content in who you are and move on. Don't continue to waste your time getting people to like you because it's a waste of your time. So that's about it for today's episode. Again, thank you for joining me for the Real Positive Girl podcast. My name is Sabrina. Happy Tuesday. I hope that you really enjoyed this episode. And if you did and you know someone else that would as well, please, I encourage you to share it with them. Also, take a look at the description box. I have all the notes for the show, where you can find me on Instagram, my website, or if you want to send me an email with any comments, questions, concerns, or prayer requests. But I hope that you come back for the rest of the episodes of this week. Feel free to check out any past week's episodes. There's a lot of gems in there. There's a lot of good ones in there. There's a lot of ones that are more serious than others. It depends on what you're interested in. So until next time, I hope you have a good one, and I will see you later. Bye.